Hey everybody, Curtis Dawson here. I want to welcome you to today's training. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way before we get started. I want to make sure everybody is hearing my voice and seeing my screen. If you can hear me, if you are seeing my screen, go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box. That will allow me to know that we have no problems over here. Everybody's seeing everything, hearing everything. And while I'm waiting on responses here, let me just go ahead and say today is pretty much an informal training webinar. Most training webinars we do, it'll be 20, 30 slides and, it'll go on for an hour to an hour and a half. And, that's not what I want to do here today. In fact, I've got about 3 different PowerPoint slides that I'm going to show you throughout today's training. But really what I want to do is spend a little bit just focusing on Facebook ads, okay? I get a lot of messages from people. I get a lot of requests for help with Facebook ads. And the thing is the Facebook ad platform, I'm not going to lie to you, until you really understand how to properly use it, it can be a bit of a beast. It can be tough to figure out. It can be tough to target correctly. And folks, that's what I'm good at. That's what's helped make me a lot of money over the years. The backbone of my business is Facebook ads, whether it's my e-commerce business, whether it's running webinars, whether it's lead generation for building an email list or anything, affiliate. I use Facebook ads for everything because it's a very powerful platform. But the problem is just people struggle with it. So that's what I want to spend some time focusing on today, is just to answer that question. How can you use the Facebook ads platform? I want to spend a few minutes and just give you an overview of how the platform looks, because I know there's a lot of people here who have never even used it before. There's also a lot of people here who may use it in their business on a daily basis, and that's great too. But I think there's much that you can learn from this. So we're just going to spend some time focusing on that today. I'm going to show you some pretty cool targeting tricks that I have. Number 2, I'm going to share with you a case study. In fact, this is part of the case study that you see here on your screen. We'll get more into the case study here in just a bit. And then number 3, the third thing that I want to do today is I do want to share with you how you can work with me further in building out your business. Now, let me go ahead and tell you now that this is not going to require you to pull out a credit card at the end of today's presentation. A lot of you here, you've been on webinars before, you know how they work. There is training, and then there is a pitch at the end to buy a product. And today I'm going to tell you to keep your credit cards in your wallet. I'm not going to ask you to purchase anything today, but I am going to share with you how you can work with me further, and I can help you build out your business. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And I did ask, back at the beginning, if you could see me and hear my screen, go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box. And I see the ones have poured in. Everybody can see me or see my screen. Everybody can hear my voice. So let's go ahead and get started today. I want to welcome you. I'm glad you could join me here for today's training. We're going to skip the typical introduction process that takes a bit to share about who I am and what I do and where I come from and things like that, because, most everybody here, you are my subscribers. You are on my list. Most of you have been on my webinars before. You know who I am. So there's really no need to do that. I do want to be respectful of your time today, so we're going to completely cut that out. I'm going to tell you, it is my goal here today, 30, 40 minutes or so from start to finish to wrap up the training. It's not going to take a long time to share with you what I want to show you here today. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in and get started. I want to show you some pretty cool things with Facebook ads. So let me screen right now. That is okay. I am moving my screen from this PowerPoint slide to my desktop. And here we go. Everybody should be seeing my screen. And what you are looking at here on the screen, for those of you who do not know, is this is the Facebook ad platform. This is where you go to launch an ad on Facebook. So let's cover some things as we dig through this and kind of move through this process of setting up Facebook ads. And I hope you're excited to be here, because I really feel like you're going to learn some stuff today. So what we have here on the front of the screen in front of you here is Facebook is asking us a question to get started. They want to know, what is your marketing objective? Basically, what is it you're trying to accomplish with your ad? And there's multiple things here that you can choose from, but really there's only two of these that I typically use in my business. And really, there's only about two of them that most of you will ever use in your business. They all serve a purpose, but for what we do and the things we teach, most of them are not necessary. But the two different objectives that we tend to use in our business is number one, engagement, and number two, conversions. Now, let me share with you the difference between the two and what they both accomplish. What Facebook does when you choose an objective is Facebook optimizes your ad to show it to the people who are more likely to accomplish that particular objective. And the two that we use is conversions and engagement. And what engagement does, for those of you who don't know, it used to be known as the PPE ad, the page post engagement ad. And now they just call it an engagement ad. But the purpose of this engagement ad, or what many of you may be familiar with as the PPE ad, Facebook is going out and showing your ad to people who are more likely to like, comment, and share your ad. Likes, comments, and shares. Now, the other objective that we use is conversion ads. Conversion ads, and it's exactly what it says. People is going out, or Facebook is going out, and they're showing your ad to people who are more likely to convert on your ad. Now, here's what conversions can be. Conversions can be link clicks. Conversions can be purchases. Conversions can be add to cart, when people take your product and add it to their cart. There's multiple different ways that you can optimize or use conversion ads. They could be website registrations if you're doing like lead generation or webinar registrations or things like that. So there's multiple things that you can accomplish on conversion ads. But let me just, before we dive into one of these and actually show you how we would properly build out an ad, let me share with you the benefits of both of them. Number one, an engagement ad, the biggest benefit is it helps you to build out social proof. What looks more sexy on an ad? I mean, let's just be real here. What's going to look more sexy when you see an ad? Is it going to be an ad that has no social proof? There's hardly any likes, comments, shares, or anything like that? Or is an ad going to look more appealing to you if it has likes, comments, sharing? People are engaging with that ad. Well, right. So the more engagement an ad has, the more appealing it becomes to you. It's that social proof. And social proof is what helps us to begin to build out a successful campaign. If people aren't even willing to engage with your ad, then they don't have enough interest in the product that you're selling to ever go make a purchase anyway. So a lot of times what we will do, especially if we're brand new in a niche, let's say I'm just getting started, and my guess is most of you who are here on today's training, you're probably just getting started. Now, we may have some seasoned vets here who have run successful businesses, or maybe you haven't reached that point of success yet, but you're not just getting started neither. You've been in this for a bit. You're in the process of still trying to get your business built out. But for most people who are just getting started, you're probably going to start with an engagement ad, especially if you're brand new in a niche. And me, I'm not just getting started. I've been doing this for years now. But if I go into a new niche, a niche that I have never marketed in before, then there's a very good chance I will begin with an engagement ad, because I have to build up that social proof. I have to give people a reason to care about what I'm trying to say, or the message I'm trying to get across, or what I'm trying to sell them. So once I begin to get some likes, comments, and shares on my ad, then I can move over to a conversions ad where I'm telling Facebook, now go after people who are more likely to convert. And one thing that causes people to be more likely to convert is that social proof. Now, both of them, you build out the ad the same way. So we're just going to pick one and roll with it, because the process from here on out is going to be the same, but you're just telling Facebook, here's my objective. Here's what I want to accomplish with my ad. So if you're new, you may want to start with an engagement ad. Build up that social proof. You can also get sales through an engagement ad too. I make a lot of sales through engagement ads. It's just Facebook is showing your ad to a different audience who is more likely to accomplish that particular objective. Now, once you're more established in a niche, it's a great time to swap over to a conversions ad, which is what we're going to use as the example here on this training. So let's click on this here. And the first thing that it is going to do is ask us to name our campaign. And I'm just going to say, we'll just call it a test campaign. I don't actually have a product or anything that I'm actually going to launch here today. This is mainly for demonstration purposes. And it's loading it up the next page here, so we'll give it just a second. Facebook looks like it might be running just a tad bit slow today. All right, so you can name your ad set if you would like. Sometimes I do, depending on what I'm doing. You can, if you're running multiple ad sets with different audience types and things like that, you may label it with a name so you know which ad set it is. For those of you who are new, you're just getting started, you're not going to be running multiple ad sets, at least not in the very beginning. Once you have a successful product running, you're making sales, you're profitable, well, then, we can definitely help you to move forward and launch multiple ad sets, because honestly, once I find a successful product, I will bang out 5, 10, 20, sometimes 30 different ad sets to different audiences, testing different audience types, whether it be lookalike audiences, which is a little bit more advanced, or things like that. But it's one of those things to where the sky's the limit once you get a successful ad, but you always have to start with that initial ad. And that's what we're focusing on today. Like I said, once we build out a successful, profitable campaign, we can move on to multiple ad sets. But the first thing we're going to do here is we chose a conversions ad. So what we want to do is we need to tell Facebook what do we want to convert for? What is our conversion event? So we're going to click here. And there's really 3 of these, especially like I'm in e-commerce. That's what a lot of what I teach right now, mainly because it's so huge and there's so much money to be made in it. But really the 3 different types of objectives that we can use for a conversion ad for e-com is view content, and another one, is add to cart, and another one is, it's not letting me grab that. Let's do this. There we go. Purchase. So view content, add to cart, and purchase. Now, it's exactly what it seems. So Facebook is optimizing your ad now to show it to people who are more likely to view content. View content is your website clicks. It's people that click on the link inside your ad. Or you can tell Facebook, I want to optimize my conversion ad to show it to people who are more likely to add my product to their cart. And then I can optimize my ad to show it to people who are more likely to complete a purchase. Now, one might be thinking, well, common sense says, well, just show my ad to people who are more likely to purchase. And there's a lot of truth in that. But the thing is you need to test all 3 of those: the view contents, add to carts, and purchases. Think of it as Facebook has put you into a category based on what you're more likely to do. And Facebook determines what you're more likely to do based on the past actions that you have taken. If you're one that you'll click on links in an ad, but you've never went and completed a purchase or even added it to cart, well, then obviously you're probably going to fall into this category up here of, they would show the ad if, under view content. If you've added products to your cart, but you've never completed a purchase or don't complete as many purchases, then maybe you'd fall under add to cart. But if you're a known buyer on Facebook, then they would put you in the purchase category. And the thing is the reason why you need to test all 3 and not just go straight to purchases is because there's buyers in each and every one of these. Just like I told you a few minutes ago that there are buyers even when you choose engagement as the objective. There's buyers in all 3 of these categories. And if you're only showing your ad to people who are more likely to purchase, you're missing out on the buyers that would fall into this category and in this category. So run side by side ads, test them, see which one converts the best. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. Whenever I run all three of these, more times than not, and I'm going to say probably 8 out of 10 times, my winning ads are the ones where I optimize for add to cart. Ask me why, I don't know. It's just the way it works for me. Somebody else may have a different answer on that, but whenever I run add to cart as my objective, that is where I get my best results, even better than when I'm optimizing for purchases. So you definitely want to test, test, test. Now, here's the thing. And again, if you're just getting started, you don't have a lot of purchases yet, you probably want to begin with an add to cart, not an add to cart, but a view content objective. Facebook builds its data on your pixel. So yeah, every Facebook account has a pixel, and you take that pixel and you attach it to your Shopify store. Very easy to do. And then Facebook gathers data about the people that you're marketing to. And it's hard for Facebook to optimize your ads for purchases or even add to carts if you don't have any of these actions taking place on your ad yet. So that's why, it's good to go ahead and start with an engagement ad, build that social proof, you'll get link clicks, and then move over to a conversion ad and begin with view content. And then once you've run this ad for a bit and you begin to get more clicks, you start to get some add to carts, you start to get some actual purchases. Facebook is learning. They're gathering data and they're analyzing that data, and you're getting a better idea of what a buyer looks like in your niche. So then you can swap that to an add to cart later, and then even a purchase later. But it's hard to do that until you actually have those events taking place. So I would begin with view content, let Facebook build that data, and then set up an ad where you're optimizing for add to cart. And then set up an ad, a little bit later once you start to get some purchases coming in, and Facebook has learned better who that buyer is in your audience. Then go set up ads with purchase as your conversion event. So I hope that, I know I talked about that for a little bit here, but my goal here today is I want you to have a good understanding as to not only what the options are, but I want you to have an understanding as to why you would choose one option over the other. And I hope you understand that. So start with an engagement ad, build up that social proof. Build up that social proof. I cannot stress that enough. Through that process, you're going to get link clicks. Once you build up some link clicks, Facebook, that pixel is getting smarter and smarter. Then swap over to the conversions ad and optimize for view content. And again, as more view contents, as more add to carts and purchases come in, Facebook can better optimize for the add to cart. And then again, later on the purchases. So take it step by step, take baby steps. Don't necessarily just start with purchases thinking I'm going after the best people, I'm going to knock it out of the park and make a ton of money. You have to learn to walk before you can, or you have to learn to crawl before you can walk, rather. And this is kind of the same process here. Facebook has to learn your audience based off of the things that you're selling, and then each conversion event, which this is a conversion event, they get better and better. They're smarter and smarter about how to best optimize that. So we'll start with view content. So let's go down. You can add custom audiences here. That's getting more advanced, especially for the newbies that are here. So we're not going to fool with this. This is advanced training that we can definitely get into later. But locations. So unless I have a product that I know is for a specific country, I'm going to market to the United States before I go anywhere else, because this is where you find most of your buyers anyway. And, the chances are it's not going to work in the United States. And a lot of times it won't work in other countries as well, unless you're selling a product or a service that is geared towards that particular country or culture or something like that. Now, one rule of thumb here is never run more than one country per ad. I'm never going to come in here and run it to the United States and Canada and then Australia. You know, if I was so a mind to, I could just come in here and load it up with country after country and just get a massive audience to market to. But the thing is just because a product works here in the United States, it may not work everywhere else. I've had products that were very successful in the US. And then I launched it to Canada, nothing. It's like crickets chirping. They could care less about it. And then I go launch it in Australia, boom, hit it out of the park, and we're making tons of sales. And then go launch it to the UK, nothing, crickets chirping again. We're getting no action on it. So if you're lumping all these countries into one ad, well, the problem is you're not going to know where your sales are coming from, or actually it becomes very difficult to know. And then you've got to start, it just becomes a mess. So if you want to launch a product in the United States, launch it in the United States. And then if you want to go back and launch it to Australia, do that in a separate ad. Okay. Don't lump everything. So I'm going to roll with the United States. The age, let me be focusing on when you're selecting ages and genders and things like that to market to. Um, I actually, anybody 18 and over can technically have a credit card or a, debit card of some sort to use, which they are going to need if they are going to buy from you. But the thing is what we found, and get me here, and this is why you should really pay attention to people like myself, but not only myself, but others who have a lot of experience here, is because we spent thousands upon thousands of dollars of our own money testing various audiences. So we tend to have a pretty good idea as to what works and what does not. And here's what I've found. In that 18 to say 24 age group, you'll get a lot of engagement out of them. You'll get likes, comments, shares. You'll even get the occasional purchase. But the thing is that I found that more times than not, when you market to this younger age group, it's not going to be profitable. You'll spend more money marketing to that age group than you will make in return. So, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, think of it in terms of, when you were 18 years old, fresh out of high school, maybe going into college or just getting into the workforce. Did you have a lot of extra money to buy T-shirts and knickknacks and necklaces and whatever other products you're selling? Did you have that disposable money to use, or was you, having to learn how to pay rent and utilities and, save your money a little bit? Well, yeah, same thing for me too. I didn't have a lot of disposable money at that point in time. But you tend to look, somebody gets a little bit more established, maybe get through college, get a full-time job. You need to let some years pass for that person to get established. And the thing is that, it's just the 18 to 24 age group has never really been profitable. So because of that, and because we're looking to go after people who tend to be a little bit more established, I've set everything to market at 25 and older. I never market products to people under the age of 25. 25 to that 65 plus. And you can even narrow this down to smaller age groups if you want. You may have a product that is geared more towards the older group, maybe senior citizens. And that's fine. You can set that age group higher. You can have products that are more geared towards the younger age group. So maybe you go 25 to 30 or even 35 or whatever. But you can set this for whatever you want. But I recommend don't run anything under 25 years of age, because at the end, it's just not worth it. As far as gender, you can do men, you can do women, you can do all, however you want to do that. A lot of it's going to depend on your products, okay? You may have a product that is geared towards men, you may have a product that is geared towards women, or it may be a universal product that can be for either one. But keep that in mind. Now, something else to keep in mind, and again, this is from many thousands of dollars of testing of my own money being spent. More times than not, your women, the females, that's who your buyers are. I'm not saying men don't buy. I'm just saying women buy more than men, especially with online shopping. Now, with that being said, that doesn't always work for every niche. You know, every niche is different. There's some niches that are female dominated. There's some niches that are male dominated. So you're going to have to learn your niche. When you're looking at a product, you're looking at a niche to market in, you need to have an understanding of who that target market would be. Would it be male, female? What age group would that target market be? Just do a little bit of research, right? Do some Google searches and things like that to find out, especially if it's something you're not familiar with. So a little bit of research goes a long way in learning how to properly target your ads. In this case here, I'm going to go 25 to 65 plus, and I'm just going to select all for gender. Now down here in detailed targeting, now this is where a lot of people tend to mess up and get lost. Anybody can come up here and select an age group, a country, a gender to market to, but the targeting is where people tend to screw up. They just don't know what they're doing. They just can't grasp a hold of how to dial in to the most passionate audiences in a niche, which is what I want to focus on now. But before I do that, there's actually a couple of things that I need to do. Number one, I'm going to uncheck this box. Expand interest when it may increase conversions at a lower cost per conversion. I don't want to do this because I want to maintain control over my audience. When you list, different keywords here, you list different interests that you want to target. If you leave this box checked, what you are doing is you're giving Facebook permission to actually go in and adjust your audience, include interests that you didn't include. If they think it's possible, it may convert more. Every time I leave this check, I'm not going to lie to you, my ads go to crap. I don't sell anything because I know my audience. I know who my buyers are. I know how to target. And at the end of the day, I don't want Facebook to mess with my targeting for me. So I'm going to uncheck that. The next thing I'm going to do is come down here and adjust my placements, edit placements. And I'm going to remove audience network. We only want to market on Facebook. I'm going to remove Instagram. I don't want to market on Instagram. You can get a lot of engagement on Instagram, but honestly, I do not see a lot of purchases come through Instagram. So we want to remove that. And then I'm going to click this box, this drop down box beside Facebook, and I'm going to remove right column, and I'm going to remove instant articles. I only want to show my ad in the feeds. That's the desktop news feed and the mobile news feed. That's all I want to show my ad to. So once I've done that, now I can come back up here and begin to build out my audience. So let's do this. And again, we're going to move through this kind of fast because I do want to be respectful of your time. I also made a commitment that we would keep this training at a 30 to 45 minutes. And we're, knocking on the door of 30 minutes now. So let's move through this. And I'm just going to pick a niche here that we can build out an audience for. And I'm going to show you how I build my audience out. So let's say the fishing niche, for instance. It's a big niche, fishing. A lot of people love fishing. Men and women both love fishing. So I think it's a good niche to go with, to use as an example. So let's come in here and type in fishing. Now, you see right here, worldwide, the fishing interest has 106,860,356 people in it. Now, that's worldwide. You come over here, based off of the things that we have set, which is United States, the 25 to 65 plus age group, men and women, our audience is actually, based off the parameters that we've set here, our audience is roughly 18 million people. Now, to test an ad, that is way too many people. You cannot test a product to 18 million people. It's not dialed in enough. It's too broad. You're not tapping into the most passionate people in any niche. And let me explain something to you. It's very important to show your ad to the most passionate people in a niche, especially when you're testing. Because if the most passionate people in a niche will not buy your product, then the broad audiences will not buy it either. I promise you that. So here's what we do to dial this audience into a more targeted, passionate audience, okay? I start with the broad term fishing, but then right down here, Facebook is going to offer me suggestions based off of the keyword or the interest that I'm using. And some of it in the beginning is going to be related to fishing, some of it is not. Once we get some smaller, more targeted interest in here, then we're going to get more targeted suggestions. Right now, this is very broad. You see outdoor recreation. That's not the fishing niche. It can include the fishing niche, but it also includes a lot of other niches as well. Hunting, outdoor enthusiasts, no. But look, I love fishing. This is an interest. I love fishing. Well, do you think these people enjoy fishing? I would say so. It's also a smaller audience, as you can see. This interest right here is 585,510 people worldwide. It's getting a little bit more dialed in. So let's select that one. And then I want to come in here and kick out this long tail broad interest here. We don't want that in there. We're not targeting the masses. We're dialing an ad in to the most targeted people in my niche. So I'm kicking that one out. It's gone. But now look at what happens here. Facebook is now offering more targeted suggestions. But see what also happened here is my potential reach went from 18 million to 340,000 people. So let's roll with this and start adding some interest. I love fishing's already in here. Love fishing. Let's do it. Sport Fishing Magazine. Let me explain something to you real quick. Interests that can be very good to target are websites, newspapers, journals, magazines, clubs, associations are very big interest to target. They're very good interest to target. Think about it. If somebody subscribes to Sport Fishing Magazine, what are the odds that they're very interested in fishing? Very good. Yeah. So they're not going to subscribe to a magazine or like the magazine unless they have a pretty good interest in fishing. So it makes magazines very good interest to target. So let's include that. But you see our audience size is going up. We're up to 430,000 people. I'd rather be fishing. This is an interest that we can target. And a lot of these are based off of Facebook pages. It's not just magazines and journal articles and associations and clubs and websites. Some of these are actual Facebook pages that are available for us to target. Go fishing. You notice these are all smaller interest. They're not as broad. Gone fishing. We're up to 570,000 people. Florida Sportsman Magazine, not as targeted. The Fishing Life. Florida Sport Fishing. MILF, Man I Love Fishing. It's a small interest though. I'm not going to select that one because it's very unlikely that it'll change our audience size. Fishhound.com. Websites, yes. We're up to 730,000 people. Now, here's another step that I take. Again, this is definitely getting dialed in to more passionate people in our niche. But do you want to know how we can dial this in even further? In fact, give me a big yes if you want to know how we can dial this in even further and make it even more likely that we're targeting the biggest fishing fans out there. Give me a big yes. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Good. So let's dive into this a little bit further. What I'm going to do, once I've selected interest here, and we may go back and add more to these yet. We'll just have to see. But I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go narrow audience. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Facebook, actually I'm going to add interest in here, and then I'm going to be telling Facebook, I only want to show my ad to people who like one of these interests and one of these interests down here. Then now we're requiring our audience to like more than one of these interests. The more of our interests they like, the more targeted they are, the more passionate they are. That's our ideal audience for launching and testing products. So let's add some interest in here. We're probably going to have to start with the fishing again. We'll start with the broad term fishing. And let's just see here if we have any other big interest that we can use. Fishing rod. We'll try that and see what it says. See what it comes up with. If we don't like it, we can always kick it out. So we can go fishing reel. Yeah. Fishing line. People have an interest in fishing line. Fish hook. Fishing lure. Look at this. Fishing bait. Fishing float. Fishing tackle. We've already used that one. Go fishing. Yeah, we've used that one. Bait fish. Love fishing. Did we use? I know we used I love fishing, but did we use? Yep, we sure did. Ice fishing, fly fishing, sport fishing magazine. We used that one. We can include fly fishing in this. Let's see here. I'd rather be fishing, recreational fishing. Carp fishing. Sure, let's use it. Fishing net. All these are related interests, and we're telling Facebook you got to like one of these and at least one of these. Fishery. Let's see. Carp crossing, trout fishing, Carp World magazine, fly fishing, fly try fisherman. Let's see. Longline fishing. Carp angler. That's good for this one. So let's do this. Now, we've narrowed our audience down to 480,000 people. I can come down here and I can do this again. Narrow even further. Let's start with one of these fishing interests. And a lot of these we've used. Did we use that one, Wired to Fish? Let's see. No, it's not in here. So, Wired to Fish. This is a website. Let's kick this one out. We've already used it. We've used Fishhound, The Fishing Life. Oh, where'd it go? Here it is. BassResource.com. I like that one. It's a website about bass fishing. I know we've used Fishhound. Did we use Bass Angler Magazine? Nope, we did not use it. So Bass Angler Magazine. Just here it is. Bass Fan. Look at this stuff. Look how dialed in we're getting this audience. Penn Fishing. This is a good one to use. Modern Fishing Magazine. American Angler Magazine, very small audience size. You see that 2,400 people. Fishing magazines, Shakespeare Fishing. This is actually it's a brand. We'll use that one. Good audience size there. Okuma Fishing USA. Rebel Lure Company. Definitely good one to use. This Booyah Baits. I'm familiar with Booyah Baits. That's a brand. Where'd it go? I just saw it. Where'd it go? Let's see. Here it is. Booyah Baits. I saw some other brands down here I'd wanted to use too. That would be good. Like Ugly Stick. That's a brand. Zoom Bait. Fly Fisherman Magazine. Oh, Mystery Tackle Box. That's a brand. Texas Fish and Game Magazine. 34,000 at this point. Probably not going to change our audience size. We can add it anyway. No, I didn't change it. Let's see. hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, this is good stuff here. I mean, this is how you dig in and dial an audience in to the most passionate people in a niche. Strike King Lure Company. It's another good one to use. Tackle Direct. See if there's any others I want to use. Bass Angler Sportsman Society. This is like a club to be in. What I tell you, clubs are another good. You're not going to join a club unless you're pretty passionate about it. So we're going to plug that one in. Audience size is 300,000 people, potential reach. Now, I'm going to stop here. I could probably keep going and adding to these and continuing to grow that audience. But so let me give you a little tip here, though. When I'm testing a product, I am looking to test my products with an audience of somewhere between 3 and 500,000 people. I could have went after the fishing niche here and ended up with millions upon millions of people in this audience, but it would have been millions of people that don't necessarily make up the most passionate people. But what I've done right here is I've layered this audience targeting 3 different times. So now what I've told Facebook is don't even show my ad to people unless they like at least one of these fishing interests up here, and one of these interests, and one of these interests. They've got to like a minimum of 3 of all these interests that I have here in order to be included in my ad. Now we're dialing into the more passionate people in a niche. And folks, that is how we target interest. We don't sit here and plug in the big, broad interests that have millions of people in it, because those are just people who may have an interest in fishing. Heck, the way Facebook does things, those could be people who just like to post related to fishing. Maybe they don't care about it that much at all, but they like to post related to fishing. So now they're lumped into the category of the fishing interest. That's why we go after more targeted interest, and that's why we layer our audiences, especially in the beginning. Now, eventually, on a successful product, you're going to blow through this audience eventually. It's going to take some time, but you will blow through that audience. But then, once you have a successful product, you can also go out there and begin to target some of the more broad interests. There's a lot of broad interest in the fishing niche that we didn't even go after. You can then begin to go after some of those interests. You can start creating, lookalike audiences and things like that, which we're not getting into today. That's more advanced. Again, we can talk about that once you find a successful product. But I hope you see here how powerful this is. Is this good stuff? Do you like this? Do you like this method of targeting? Do you think you can use? In fact, let me ask you: do you think you can use this method of targeting to go out and find the more passionate people in any niche? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think most of you agree with me here. So this is powerful, folks. I want you to do this in your business because you're going to be more profitable and you're going to test products quicker if you're going after the more passionate people in a niche. So from there, once I've got my audience selected, that's it for this page. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select my daily budget. I launch everything at $5 a day. I do not want to spend a ton of money to determine whether or not I have a successful product. So I'm launching ads at $5 per day. I'm going to let it run from 1 to 3 days and determine whether or not I have a successful product. And once I have a successful product, then I can scale that to $10 a day or $20 a day. We can talk about, later we can talk about different scaling tactics. There's a method of scaling your campaigns. You don't want to go from $5 a day to $100 a day, even if you have the money to spend. You've got to take baby steps. Remember, crawl before you can walk. Take baby steps. Slowly increase your budget and reinvest your profits, because that's how you grow a very successful business. But you've got to take baby steps on increasing that budget. Everything else here, I'm leaving alone. I'm going to hit continue. And from here, on the next page, all you're going to do is just select your ad. And we don't have an ad posted. I might have something on the fishing page I've got that I can use. Here it is. I love fishing. I don't know if I have anything on this page or not, but we can see use existing post. Well, I got a page here. It's called I Love Fishing. Yeah, so I've got something here. This was a phone case that I sold, it like a tackle box phone case. It looked like the inside of a tackle box. So let's say this was the ad that I was going to run to this niche. I just use existing posts because I've already got it listed on my fan page. Again, due to time's sake today, we don't have time to actually go in and show you how to build out fan pages and post these on the fan page. It's definitely not hard to do. We're just not covering that today. And then once I've selected the post, I'm going to place order, and then I'm launching this product to that audience that we just built out right there. So, folks, this is not hard to do. It's a bit of a learning curve, and you have to research every niche that you're in. You have to find the better interest to use. But once you master this, once you've done it enough to where you can go in and dial in a good, passionate, targeted audience, folks, you can make a killing in whatever you're doing, whether it be e-com, lead generation, network marketing, whatever type of business you are in, you can now go out and target the most passionate people in that niche. Now, let me share with you a case study because I want to share with you what a successful campaign looks like before we actually close this out here today. I've showed you how to target. I've showed you, how I do my targeting, how I set my ads up. So now let's show you a bit of a case study and what a successful campaign looks like. So let me get my PowerPoint back up here so I can show you this. Give me just a second here to get my screen swapped. Give me just a second here. Okay, so what you see right here in front of you is a very successful product that I ran. Okay, this product here, let me back up. There we go. This product here is a poster that I had sold that done over $51,000 in revenue. $51,971 was the revenue that was brought in on this poster. So it's a poster, it's a motivational poster, it's related to the Rocky movies. And let me show you what the ads look like on this. So let me go back. Ad cost, I'm going to show you the product purchase cost, and I'm going to show you my total profit on this as hardly anybody does. There are not many marketers that are willing to show you inside of their ads because that's the bread and butter. Folks, I like to be completely transparent. I like to give as much value as I possibly can. So, and for me, that means revealing everything to you. Now, for this particular product that I sold, I ran a lot of ads for. You can see results from 46 ad sets. Now, I didn't run these all at once. I ran some of them at the same time, but again, that goes right back to what I was telling you, though. You find a successful product, you start running it, you start testing different ad sets out, different types of audiences, lookalike audiences, and things like that, because that's how you scale a campaign. Again, how to do that, we can definitely cover that stuff later. But this is what you do. But what I want to focus on here is I want to show you the numbers across the bottom of the screen here, what they mean, and then I will show you the stats, the total profit for the campaign. So you can see here across all the ad sets that I ran for this particular product, we had a total reach of 1,976,852. So we reached just shy of 2 million people with this product. My CPM, what CPM is the bid that Facebook gives you. It's the cost. It's what Facebook charges you to show your ad to 1,000 people. And in this case, it varies from $1.97 to $5.79. And there's a lot of others in here. It's all over the place. But the average cost for me to show my ad to 1,000 people was $3.36. CTR, which is also known as click-through rate, was 3.5%. Now, here's what click-through rate is. Click-through rate is the percentage of people that engaged with your ad, clicked links. It's some sort of action taking on your ad. It could be a page like, it could be a comment, it could be a share, it could be a link click, it could be an image click, it could be anything, some sort of action taken on your ad. Okay. Now, 3.5% is the average click-through rate. Now, that may sound low. What that means is, on average, 3.5 out of every 100 people the ad was shown to engaged with the ad in some sort of way. But actually, that's good. Anything above about 2% is what we're looking for. And, I've had some of these, get upwards of 4. I think there's some in here, if we keep scrolling, of 5% or more. Maybe some of them are down in the 2%. So I see here 1.6. See that one wouldn't have been a successful one. See, I only spent $13 on that ad. So, you tell click-through rate plays a big part. I didn't spend a lot of money on it. So anything above 2% is good. We got 3.5% here. That's great. Link clicks. This is clicks to the link in your ad. We received 23,206 link clicks, and cost per click or cost per link click was an average of 69 cents, which is good. And the budget, again, I had some of these running at $10 a day, some at $15 a day, $60 a day, but I started all of them at $5 a day, and then we scaled it from there. Some of them we left lower, some of them we scaled higher. Some of them we had, at $100, $200 a day at one point, and then scaled them back down as things began to slow down. Total amount spent for each ad set. Website conversion cost, or not cost, but sales that was tracked by Facebook for each ad set. And that's about all of the important information here that I really wanted to show you on this ad. So let's talk some numbers here, because again, I want to be completely transparent and show you guys what a successful campaign looks like. So the campaign, as I showed you on the screen a minute ago, generated $51,971 of revenue. Okay? On this product, it took 2,087 sales to make the 51,971. So you can see, divided by 2,087, $24.90 is the average cost per purchase, or the average revenue per purchase, rather. So let's look at the numbers. Product cost. We sold 2,087 products. My cost for the product was $7.50. It's what I sold it at. Times 7.5. So my cost on product purchases was $15,652.50. You can also see here that my total spent in ad spend was $16,076.55. So let's see what my total cost was. $16,076.55. $31,729.05 was all the money that I spent on this campaign. Now, let me explain something to you. None of this was upfront money spent. The way we do our e-commerce business is we use drop shipping. We don't spend anything until after the customer buys from us, okay? When the customer buys from us, they pay us the money for the product. We then go out and take a portion of that money that we receive from the customer. We go out and purchase the product and have it shipped straight to the customer's door. So we never spend money on product until we collect money from a customer. We don't buy in bulk or anything like that. Facebook actually allots us so much ad spend. Mine is $750. They'll let me spend $750 in ads money before they actually charge me for that, which allows me to get the money in from the customer before I have to pay my ads. So I'm always collecting money first. That's what allows me to go out there and spend $30,000 on a successful campaign, because I collected all of the money from the customer before I ever spent any money out. So Let's look at the total profit for this. We generated $51,971. Now let's subtract out. Product cost was $15,652.50. And let's subtract out the ad spend, which was $16,076.55, which left me a total profit. Out of the $51,971, I kept $20,241.95. Not bad off of a successful campaign, right? Very good. So what was my profit margin on this? Now, typically speaking, we're looking for, on average, to about 1/3 profit. Anything better than a third is actually very good. So of the money that we collect, the revenue that we bring in, we're looking for approximately 1/3 of that to be product cost that would have to go back out, 1/3 of that to be ad spend that would have to go back out, and then 1/3 of that would be our profit on average. Here's how we're going to figure out our profit. We're going to take, or the profit margin, we're going to take the total profit for the campaign and divide that by the total revenue that was brought in, which was $51,971. In this case right here, my profit margin was 38.9%, almost 39% profit margin, and we were looking for a third, about 33.3. So profit margin was well above what we were looking for as a minimum. In fact, I typically see my profit margins anywhere from 35 upwards to 40%. Which is, a lot of that is because I know how to target my audiences to dial it in to the most passionate people in any niche. So this is what I do in my business. This is what I do every day to run a successful six-figure business. Everything that I'm showing you here on my screen is what contributes to my success. Let me go back to my PowerPoint slide here real quick. We're wrapping this up, folks. Give me just a second while I swap my screen back over to my PowerPoint rather. Give me just a second, folks. Bear with me. There we go. I don't know why sometimes things want to run just a little bit slow. Okay. Product that I sold, you saw the numbers on my ads. I showed you how I do my targeting. And it's just that simple. This is what we do on a daily basis to run a very successful business. Everything that I've showed you here today is what has helped me to sell a lot of product. I've sold over 16,100 products in my e-com business, and I've made over $306,000. Folks, every bit of that is a result of being able to dial in my audiences on any product, on any niche that I'm going into. It allows me to test products to the most passionate people in a niche. I kill my products that aren't successful, and the ones that are, I scale up and make a lot of money off of. Now, my question to you today, and I promised you guys you would not have to pull out a credit card and buy anything today, and I'm sticking to that promise. I'm not selling you anything here today. But my question to you is would you be interested in working closer with me to help you build out your business? I'm very good at what I do. I know what I'm doing. I know how to run a successful business. I know how to test products, to dial in products to the most passionate people in any niche. And I've taught a lot of people how to do this. So would you be interested in working with me and me helping you build out your business and being there to work alongside you to help you be successful, to teach you the things that you need to know to run a successful business? And yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the answers are pouring in the chat box. And yeah, everybody, the general, the common answer here is absolutely. Yeah, everybody wants to receive the help that they need. So let me share something with you real quick, and then I'm going to let you go. I've typically in the past I've done one-on-one coaching, and I've helped a lot of people build out their businesses. But here's the thing about one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching is very expensive, and a lot of why it's expensive is because of the time it takes to coach an individual. I mean, to coach somebody for 1 month, it'll cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, depending on the needs of the student and what they're looking for and the plan that that's going to best fit them. And one-on-one coaching is time consuming, right? So it demands a higher price tag. Folks, what I have found with one-on-one coaching and the high price tag that's involved with one-on-one coaching is it excludes a lot of people. It excludes a lot of hardworking people who really have that desire to build out a successful business, but they just don't have thousands of dollars laying around to invest in their training, right? Training costs money. There's no way to get around that. When I first started in my e-commerce business, in order for me to be successful, I had to get the training that I needed. I had to be taught how to do this. I had to spend money to learn how to do this business right. It costs money to do that, but the high price tag of one-on-one coaching excludes those hardworking people who don't have thousands of dollars laying around. So because of that, I have backed away from one-on-one coaching. In fact, I take one-on-one coaching students now on a very limited case-by-case basis. I shy away from it because of the time that it takes to do it. I can help more people in what I do now, which is a group coaching setting. The group coaching allows me to work with more people. It allows everybody to learn from each other. It allows everybody to ask questions and get answers that can help everybody out. I mean, think about this for a minute. In a group setting, you are going to have questions that is going to help somebody else. Maybe you have a question that somebody else never even thought of, but your question and the answer to that question is going to help them, and their questions and the answers to their questions are going to help you. And it becomes this tight-knit family of entrepreneurs working together to build out their business. They're learning from each other. They're learning from me. And it's great. I love it. Our students are loving the group coaching and the way it works. So because of the fact that one-on-one coaching is so expensive and time consuming, that's why the group coaching program was born. It allows me to really let people get involved at rock bottom prices, at prices that really anybody can afford. It's designed for that hard-working person who just don't have thousands of dollars to invest in coaching. If that is you, you are the person who maybe desires that coaching. You're really serious and you want to learn how to do this. You want to learn how to build out a successful business, but you don't have thousands of dollars laying around to invest in your training. Then folks, this is for you. This program is definitely for you. This can help you. I've put this together in such a way that anybody can do this. Anybody can afford it. All you need is that desire to succeed. And, it basically includes everybody. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually not going to put a link here for you to go and to buy and to get into the coaching program. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you what you do to get into the coaching program right now. But what I am going to ask you to do is to book a call to speak with me. Because I can only help and work with so many people at a time, and because I get numerous requests from people asking for help to build their business out and to receive coaching, I have to take people on a limited basis. I have to take a limited number of people. I can't help everybody. I can't work with everybody at the same time. Even the group coaching program, I can only work with so many people at one time. And what I do is I take each individual person and we hop on a short phone call. I'm talking 15, 20 minutes. We get on there and I ask you a few questions. It's sort of an interview, so to speak. Ask you a few questions to see where you're at, to see, if you're a good fit, if I feel like you can really do this, if you have what it takes to do this. And then those who I invite into the group coaching program, I make them a very special offer that anybody can afford. Really, all you need to bring to the table is a desire to succeed and we will make sure you get the training that you need to be successful. But what you have to do is to book a call with me. Now, I'm putting the link up here up on the screen. It's meetme.so/Curtis Dawson. I'm going to put it up here where you can actually click on it to go book a time with me. Now, what I encourage you to do is grab one of the first available times that you can, where I know there may be times you're not available, but grab the first available time you can, because I've been taking calls and interviewing people for about a week and a half now. I have just about got my final spots filled out for the group coaching program. I'm taking my last few, and I do take people on a first come, first serve basis. Now, who should book a call to speak with me about the group coaching program? Well, number one, the person who is serious about getting started. I'm talking action takers. If you're not, I'm just going to be perfectly honest. If you're not an action taker, if you're the type of person that's going to need 3 or 4 different phone calls with me to make a decision about what you need to do, this is not for you. I don't have time to spend hours on the phone with somebody to try to convince them, because honestly, most people I talk to, I disqualify. I don't get on the phone and try to convince you as to why you should join me. Honestly, each person has a few minutes to share with me their heart and their thoughts on why they want to be successful. And then I choose the people that I'm going to work with, because I only want to work with people who are serious, who are ready to take action. If you're going to book a call to speak with me, be available. Please, please, please be available and ready to take the call at that time. Please do not take a booking and then don't show up for a call. Believe me, this happens all the time. People will book calls and then I'll call. They'll never answer the phone. I'll leave a voicemail. I'll text them. They'll never call back. And what you have just done was taken a time slot that somebody else could have grabbed. So please make yourself available at that time. If you need to cancel or reschedule your booking, do so. You'll get a confirmation link where you can cancel or reschedule your booking. So do that. I'm looking to work with serious people here. I'm looking for people who want the training, but don't necessarily have thousands of dollars to invest in your training. If this is you, you can afford this. Trust me. All you need to do is book a time to speak with me. We'll hop on a call. We'll spend a few minutes, talking about the program and talking about what your goals are. We'll determine if you're a good fit, and then we'll get you in. Anybody can afford this that really has a desire to get started. So, last call. Book your time to speak with me now. I'm looking forward to working with you. I've got a lot of great people I'm already working with. We have already started the training, and people they're out there building out their businesses as we speak. So if you're serious, if you're a motivated person who is serious and you're ready to take action, book a call to speak with me. Grab the first available time you can, and we will hop on a call and we will visit and see how I can best help you, if I can help you. So that is all for today's training. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have learned a little bit about Facebook ads and how you can use their platform to target the most passionate people in any niche. I hope you've gained some insight into some of that. And I hope you have a mindset and you're ready to go out there and take action and build a successful business for yourself. You're only one step away from success. All you have to do is just reach out and grab it. My name is Curtis Dawson. I want to thank you for joining me here today. Last call. Go to the link you see on your screen, or click the link you see around your screen, wherever it may be, on the side or on the bottom of the screen or somewhere. Click the link, go to this link, book your time to speak with me. I'm seeing the bookings pour in as we speak right now. So grab the first available time you can. Let's hop on the phone for a few minutes. If you're an action taker, book that call with me and let's get started. Let's see if you're a good fit. And if you are, let's work together and let me help you build out your business alongside myself and the other people in the group coaching program. Remember, anybody can afford this. I'm going to make you a special offer, those that I accept, and then we will begin to build out your business. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you spent some time and learned, furthered your education on today's training. Looking forward to seeing you on the next call. Those of you that have booked times to speak with me, I will be talking to you soon. And everybody else, have a great day. Bye for now.